All right, let's jump right into it. Round 3 of the 2025 Sinquefield Cup was, well, it was a wild one. A day of just absolute contrasts, you know? We had these super precise, clean victories on one side, and then just shocking, unbelievable misses on the other. And you could feel it right from the start. This was the vibe coming from the broadcast booth, kind of hinting that, hey, this round is not going to be predictable. And boy, were they right. The whole tournament leaderboard got completely reshuffled after this. So, before we get into the crazy games, let's just quickly set this scene here. Because the Sinquefield Cup, you gotta understand, this isn't just any tournament. It's one of the most prestigious, most important events in the entire chess world. And for a really, really good reason.
I mean, just look at the field. It is literally a who's who of the chess elite. We're talking about 5 of the world's top 10 grandmasters all in one room battling it out in St. Louis. The level of competition is, well, it's just completely off the charts.
And of course, the stakes are just enormous. It's not just about the prestige, right? The players are fighting for a massive prize fund. We're talking $350,000. But you know, it's about even more than the money. Every single game here has these huge implications for the entire year. They're not just playing for this one cup. They're fighting for those crucial points to get into the Grand Chess Tour finals. So every move, every single point is absolutely critical. Okay, so let's get to the action. We're going to start with the day's biggest matchup, a game that was just a perfect showcase of what it means to be precise under pressure. This was the one that went exactly according to plan for one of these guys anyway. So Fabiano Caruana, he came into this round really needing a big result. He'd started with a couple of draws, and now he's facing Alireza Firouzja, who was not only a direct rival, but also one of the co-leaders of the tournament. This was it. This was his big chance to jump right back into the race. And Fabi's game plan, it was just so methodical, so clean. First, he locks down this nice positional edge by going after a weak pawn. Then, he just masterfully exploits Firouzja's time trouble, which, by the way, is becoming a real problem for him, and converts that small edge into a totally flawless win. Beautiful stuff. You know, the commentators were just raving about his performance, and for good reason. It was a textbook masterclass in how to convert an advantage. And for the tournament, yeah, this was an absolutely massive, pivotal victory for him. Okay, so while Caruana is clinically, surgically closing out his game, a whole different story is unfolding on another board. Something that looked like a surefire, guaranteed win was about to take a completely shocking turn. And this was the reaction from the broadcast team. You can just hear the shock in their voices. A position that was completely 100% winning just suddenly, unbelievably evaporated. Gone. Into thin air. And that brings us to the other side of our tale of 2 games. We're talking about Maxime Vachier-Lagrave versus Levon Aronian. This was the game that really defined the chaos of round 3. MVL, I mean, he played such a terrific game. He completely dominated the whole match. He was literally just a few moves away from winning and taking the sole lead of the entire tournament. He had it all in his hands. Total control. And this is where it all went wrong. It just goes to show you how razor-thin the margins are at this level. A single moment, a tiny lapse in concentration. He leaves a key pawn on the A-file unprotected. And that's all it took. Aronian found the escape, and that certain win, poof, it vanished into a draw. So you see, the whole day just became this incredible tale of 2 completely opposite fortunes. On one board, you have Caruana's flawless, perfect conversion leading to this huge victory. And on the other, you have MVL's just painful miss, a devastating spill that cost him everything, the top spot. So what does all this mean for the tournament? How did this incredibly dramatic day shake up the standings? Well, let's take a look at the newly reshuffled leaderboard. Now, what's interesting is that the other 3 games of the day all ended in draws. So that means the results of the 2 games we just talked about were absolutely decisive. Caruana's win and MVL's shocking draw, those were the only moments that actually changed anything in the round. And the impact was immediate and huge. Caruana's victory literally catapulted him from the middle of the pack all the way up into a 3-way tie for first place. He's now sharing the lead with Aronian and Praggnanandhaa. And for MVL, that one tiny blunder, it cost him the sole lead. He could have been sitting pretty, all alone at the top.
But instead, he's stuck back in the pack. And because of that, the race for the Sinquefield Cup is now just completely wide open. So this whole dramatic reshuffle sets up an absolutely thrilling final stretch of the tournament. You've got one contender rising because of his precision and another stumbling after a shocking mistake. The big question now is, who's going to be able to capitalize on all this chaos and actually seize the advantage? We'll have to wait and see.